What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Sports Life Business, the ultimate transition. I'm Derek Furlow, and man, do I have a treat for you all today. I got my guy, Jada, a.k.a. Jarod Parrish, with me. What up, bro?
What's good, cuz?
Man, good to see you, good to be with you. Oh, yeah. And man, so look, it's a lot of folks that's going to watch this. Some of them going to know who you are, some of them may not. But before we even get into it, introduce yourself, tell people who you are, when you played, and if you want to give them something else, you can. In the meantime, we're going to hop into everything else after that.
Well, I'm Jarod Parrish. I'm from Summerville, Georgia. I'm a Tennessee Volunteer, played there from 2003 to 2007. We had a pretty good amount of success at the time. Started a few games, but it was a good experience.
That works. Yeah. That works. Had a good experience. That works.
Yeah,
so, from Georgia to Tennessee.
Yeah.
Like we both made that transition.
Yeah, we made that. Georgia boys to Tennessee. I didn't know it was gonna work like that at first. I don't know about this, but it worked out.
I think everybody want to be a Bulldog leaving Georgia.
Yeah, you do it first. You want to be a Bulldog first, and then you go get on recruiting visits, and it's like, nah, this is all right. I can do this.
Things happen. That works. So let me ask you this now: when did you get introduced to the game of football?
Man, I got introduced to it at a pretty young age. My dad, he played a little bit in college, and so, we always watch it together. We played throwback tackle out in the yard. So I'd say probably like 5 years old. That's when I first got introduced to football. But, I loved all sports growing up. So it was a thing where I just loved balls. When I'm out there. So I loved it.
That works. So how did, at what point in time from playing all the sports you played, how did you narrow it down to football was going to be your particular sport?
Well, so I played like basketball, football, baseball all throughout like high school. I did pretty well in both, but football was with my size and speed and things, was like the place I thought I could go the furthest in football. So that kind of made the decision for me was that. So it was a thing where I loved all the sports, but football was the thing that's
going to take you
the furthest.
That makes sense. When you're speaking of taking you the furthest, what was what was the goal for the furthest? Like what
the furthest thing was to try to make it to play professionally. So that's what I really wanted to do. As long as I get my education, but I really want to take that avenue and see where it took me.
Absolutely right. That's always the end goal. Now I wanted to go pro for the check.
Exactly, man. It's just like something that you do is for the check, and also for the you want to take what you do to the highest levels and just see what that experience was going to be like. So that was the thing that really motivated me, and then just to make your family proud and just to keep on progressing and doing things really well.
That works. So at what point in time in high school did you realize this football taking me further? This pro thing it's possible.
Man, I could say probably around my sophomore year I was starting, and then I had like several interceptions that year. I think I had like 5 or 6, and I was looking around the state at people who were actually going Division I playing football, and I was like doing just as well as them. And I knew my stature, the size I was, and how fast I was running, like our little combines we had for our school. And I was like, man, I could really do this. And then one of my high school coach, he had coached some Division I players, and he kind of told me the same thing. You keep this up, and then we can see how this goes. And I was like, nobody had went from my high school in a long time, but it was, definitely a key. And I had good grades, so I knew that wouldn't be a problem. So, that just motivated me.
That worked. And so after hearing that, did your work ethic change any, or were you already doing what you was doing? It just was enlightened that this thing is possible for me.
I wouldn't say my work ethic changed. It was just more so a focus of, I got to get this done, man. Ever since I was, you used to watch those little TV shows, recruiting shows when you were like in high school, and you see all those guys see the little name go across the ticket when they committed, and you see like they look 40 times and stuff, and you're like, man, I'm gonna be on there one day. So I'd be outside cutting grass. Everything was like a part of a workout trying to make it. So I'm cutting grass, I'm pushing as hard as I can, I'm going around making it fast, doing that. Ride my bike like 6 miles to go work out. I'm staying extra. People don't see that sometimes. Like when I did a lot of other stuff, the extracurricular stuff, to make sure that I was going to be in shape. Like anytime there was something I could do, I was gonna do it.
Yeah.
My coach told me it was gonna be open. You need to come and do this. I was gonna do that.
Yeah.
So I worked out hard. And then some people were like, oh, you were just really good at sports. You're like, nah, man, I put in a lot of work too. So.
Yeah. Now, as far as on the grades end, you said the grades was in line. I think a lot of athletes miss that part.
Oh yeah, they miss it a lot. Man, it was like something that my mom and my father, they kind of instilled in me at a young age. Like, you ain't gonna be able to play nothing unless you get your grades. So that was something that happened to me like my 6th grade year. I didn't, I did good in school, but I was like losing homework and stuff, and I made like worse grades than I should, and I almost had to quit playing football. Mm-hmm. So, after that, it was kind of like, you need to make sure you have every part of this together. So ever since then, man, I made really good grades, and he would just focus on my mother every time I come home, and she asks like, what did you do today?
Yeah.
What's the grades? What did you make? So I have to show her that, and then. But, after a while, it felt good to know that I could, play sports really well and then do really good in school as well. So, I want to do good in both.
That makes sense. And I'm with you on that because I know once my grades was took care of, it was nothing that was going to prevent me from playing.
Exactly. You got to have that opportunity.
Yeah, because a lot of guys I played with, man, they was more athletic than me, more talented than me. But grades-wise, they weren't going to qualify from that. They weren't going to graduate. So
yeah,
it was one of those things. I know in order to make it, your grades got to be right. And it was kind of funny. My mom actually, it was one time in my freshman year when some work didn't get done. Mm-hmm. And she came actually up to the school and got me out of practice because there was some work that didn't get done.
I mean, that's what you got to do, man. Like, a lot of guys don't realize it's a lot of hard work and dedication in both sides of the field. Some people don't do it on either, and they're just really talented. They don't want to work out hard. They won't come to the workouts during the summertime, and for whatever reason, but they won't do it. And so you can't make it to the next level if you don't do those things. So it's kind of like, you really don't want it. You can't say you want it and then don't do those things.
Right.
So.
The action gonna speak louder than the words.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. So in that process of you actually realizing football was gonna take you where you wanted to go, you put that extra work in, and you actually getting to the University of Tennessee.
Right.
From that point moving forward, when you got there, do you feel that, hey, this ride is going to be easier since I done made it this far to get to the next level, or what was your thought process on, hey, I done made it this far to this level, one more level to go? What was your thought process on that?
Well, my thought process it changed over the time while I was at school.
Really?
So at first when I got there, I came in and then I had like 2 seniors that were like ahead of me, and I was on second team, so it seemed pretty. The goal seemed pretty attainable.
Yeah.
It seemed I had a nice like to go there. So I was, I didn't come in with I came with the mindset that they was gonna start because they've been starting for a while.
Yeah.
And then that like next year it was gonna be kind of my shot. Yeah. I mean it'll be my time. And then those guys they graduated and one of them got drafted and the other got a free agent deal and both of them played in the NFL, and I saw myself as being just as good, if not better than them.
Yeah.
In 3-4 years, I knew I could do that as well. So I was thinking to myself, I mean, I know I can do this.
Yeah.
So, at that point it was good. But then, things transpired where you're not starting, you fight for a starting position, and then you're not the man, and then you start realizing maybe I should have looked at things a little bit differently. I should have been trying to start my freshman year over them rather than, just trying to make sure I didn't make mistakes and do little things like that. Because once you get the university, you realize really quick when you come to a big school is every year they're going to bring in somebody that's going to be very talented. And so they're looking to get the next guy out there. So if you, like your first 1 or 2 years, man, that's just about all you got to prove, like, that you're supposed to be the man.
Yep.
And if you're not the man by then they're trying to make somebody else the man. So that's why I think, I would tell younger guys if you're going to college, like, you need to go out there and just try to take it all from the jump, because once they see you, they think they know what you can do, and then they'll kind of pigeonhole you into a certain aspect, and then they can like stay with you for the rest of your career. So that's one thing that I think kind of happened. So that's why I said it kind of changed from that point. It's like, oh man, like I know I can go to the NFL, and that's like, oh man, I got to just get on the field. So
that's
changes real quick.
That was a strong that you caught the change. So when it did change, what are some things that you were already doing classroom wise or football wise? What did you adjust to fit that mold of, hey, they're gonna keep bringing in guys that they want to be the man, and they might not give me my shot, or I might not get a chance to prove myself to the degree I want to. What did you change to go ahead and set yourself up to have another found path of success?
What I would do is I would try my best to, like, during, workouts, make sure I showed up, maybe try to be a leader for the team. And again, make sure I had my grades correct, because if you don't have your grades right, then you may not be on the team anyway.
Yep.
Also, out in the public, you make sure that I'm not going to get in trouble. That happened to several guys, whether it was public intoxication or, getting into fights and things like that. I wasn't going to try to embarrass myself or embarrass my family by getting into trouble just little routine things that can happen, drinking and driving, things with girls or whatnot. So those are things I was definitely not going to do. I didn't really partake in drinking much just because I was definitely afraid of, getting a DUI or something like that. So it was nah, man, I can't do that. I'm already right here, so I can't give them another reason not to put me out there. So I couldn't put myself in jeopardy. So that was the things I had to do.
Man, you said something. You said that putting yourself in jeopardy because you're right here, and that's one thing I believe a lot of athletes miss as well, because they forget that this is business.
It is,
and
man.
Like you just said something. You said you was already right here. You didn't want to give them another reason.
Yeah, didn't want to give them another reason. It was astonishing, man. You come in, they recruit you and tell you all this and that, and then it's like, oh man, you just another number. After a certain point, man, you have to, you playing your hardest and you doing all this and that, and then somebody else that was 5-star guy, they gonna get a shot.
Yep.
They gonna get their shot no matter what. So
then
you may not get yours again. So you gotta really work at it that first go round when you first get there.
Absolutely right. So as you're going through this process and you're realizing, okay, I might not get my shot. What am I going to take advantage of while I got this stage at University of Tennessee? What did you realize? What was going to be your ultimate goal then, since that ultimate NFL goal might have been in question? So what?
Man, I always love the medical field and things, but that was always part of my plan. But I was hoping to kind of do that plan after I played professionally for a while.
So you did have a plan?
Yeah. That was always to get my grades right, and because we had a class in high school called Health Occupations where they kind of went through medical fields and saw what you want to do. We had to do a report on what we might want to do. So I knew eventually I wanted to be like a pharmacist or physical therapist or be a doctor. So it was that point I came in knowing that that's what I kind of wanted to do. I thought I wanted to be a physical therapist when I first came in. That's why I did exercise science. But I always had a path of knowing football may not be it. I may get hurt. So whatever happens, I always had a mindset of NFL was the primary goal.
Yeah.
But another goal of mine was always get my degree and go as far as I could. So that's how I was kind of looking at it. But then it became even more important to do that once you realize my path to professionally play is not going to be as easy as I thought it might be at that point. So I make sure I got my grades right, make sure I not only talked to my advisors, but make sure I knew exactly what I needed to do in order to get to where I needed to be. So it was difficult, man. Just doing both things sometimes in school while you're playing sports, difficult, but you got to make it happen for yourself.
So you didn't just let the advisors control your classes and your credits and all the stuff you're supposed to get. You actually took some initiative and figure out what you needed, how many of them you needed, and help them and help put it in play.
Oh yeah. I mean, we had summer school classes and things, so I knew I needed to have some harder classes I had to take during the summertime. So I was like, oh yeah, it'd be a little bit easier to do them while I'm not during the season. So I took advantage of that and just had to be proactive in my education versus just letting somebody else control it. I mean, they helped out, but you got to be proactive because you got to realize it's somebody's job to do that. And you think about your job and you don't do a great job at it, but there's certain things that, if it was you do a little bit better.
Yeah, absolutely right.
You. So I took personal responsibility on doing that and then researching and finding out salaries of things that you can make or how am I going to get there.
Yeah.
So it takes a little bit of research. It's all online. Google's very great looking at stuff like that.
So you created your new roadmap to another end goal in the process of you being at the University of Tennessee once you realize, hey, this might not go the way I wanted to go. Oh
yeah. You gotta create that roadmap. You gotta, and then almost reinvent yourself because this may not be there. I mean, I took the cues. I saw a lot of guys who did go, who I thought were really good. Every year, the seniors or juniors who go into the NFL that you think are really good on your team. And they got a better shot than you do right now. And then you see them, they coming back And they, you know, they already got a free agent deal. They got drafted and they get cut. You know, like every time you see it, them gotta make that 53-man roster. You like, how did such and such do? How did such and such do? And then you see they got cut, and you like.